Hi, this is Kylie again, Cinnamon Fringe, back with tutorial video number 3. And this one will be all about exploring the account settings. And I know that this seems like something you might want to do first, but there were reasons to have you do it third. Primarily in this create signature tutorial objective. So for this video, we're going to explore the settings, create a signature, change our handle, and we're going to go through how to control what content you see and which users have access to your portfolio, which is, I think, important before you actually branch out and start communicating with other people on the site. So far, we've pretty much just been contained to our own personal space on writing.com. And so we're branching out a little bit soon. So my account info actually is just an overview of how many times you've logged in, when you last logged in, your reviews given and whatnot. So really where we want to go is account settings. From here, you can change anything you want. Your demographic information, you can change at any time, passwords, all of that sort of thing. Your personal display options, we're going to go in here first. Now, my username is WDC tutorial, all one word. But that's not very pretty. Sometimes our usernames aren't. So I want my handle to be WDC tutorial with a space, all capitalized, pretty. I do recommend that you change your handle, add a space if it's 2 words, make it something kind of shorter and easier to remember than our usernames sometimes are. This is primarily how people will come to think of you on writing.com, is by your handle. Again, as a for instance, my username is Cinnamon Fringe, and everybody calls me Sin because this is my handle. So think carefully about that. You can change this as many times as you want, as often as you want. So we're going to go ahead and submit the changes. And now it says WDC tutorial, all pretty and properly capitalized. Note that you can also do the same thing through this handy little spot right here, change handle. But I wanted to actually go into this. Some of this preferred members and above, so you can't do that unless you're a preferred member, which means that you're a yellow case. The case colors here, you can't change yourself. It all depends on the staff. So that's just a perk for people who the staff has chosen to be preferred authors. You can read more about that in writing.com 101. Your blog item, again, upgraded members, premium members. So here, all we're doing is changing our handle. Now, I'm going to go back to account settings. And we're going to create a signature. Here it is, down here. For the most part, the settings, like, there are a lot of options, a lot of display options, and your best bet is just to look around. Just poke around, see what they all are, make a change, see what it does, change it back. Just explore on your own. I'm really just going through some of the key things that people ask a lot of questions about. Okay, so this is this is going to be our default signature. It shows up on our emails, our forums, and so this is a good place actually to advertise an item that you might want to see, want other people to see. So we're going to go back to our portfolio and we're going to create an item link in our signature. Item links are pretty important on writing.com. It's one of the easiest ways to get to places and to share things with other people. And this is a basic item link right there. That's exactly what it looks like. That is a unique item number for the item that I just copied. In these brackets, item colon, no spaces. Like that's what an item link looks like. And if you remember in the video number 1, I talked about writing.com tools, which is kind of your go-to place for help with anything. And these links, you can find all of this in Writing ML Docs and Help. It's right here, number 2, for a reason. It is very helpful. This contains links to like every kind of link on the site, how to make your text bold and italics and all of that. There are buttons to do that too when you go into an item to create one. But the links, member links, item links. So all you do is you find the type of link that you want, and then it's right there. And you can just copy it and then type in the number or the username that you want. And if you notice, item colon the item number, user colon the username in these brackets, they're all very similar. Review, to link to a review, it's review colon the review number. They all kind of look the same. But if you ever forget, again, just go to writing.com tools, Writing ML Docs and Help, and then you can just look up any kind of link that you need. Okay, so this is a basic item link, and I'm also going to throw in a Bitem link, which people always ask for if you want to enter contests and things. People ask for the item link a lot. You can think of it as a big item link, and so you can see what that looks like. So now that we have the item link created for our signature, you go ahead and store it. And click here to test view it. So this is what the signature looks like. This is the regular item link. That's all it creates. It's just the name of the story in a link that people can click on. This is that Bitem link, the big item link. And this is why people like it when you use this, because it shows the picture, it shows the description, it shows the rating, which is really important for a lot of people who don't want to read really graphic stories and poems and things. So that looks good to me. I think I'm going to take out the regular item link because the big one looks nice. So I'm going to update it. And I'm going to test view it again, just to be sure that it looks right. And it does. So now this is my signature. Anytime I post in a forum, anytime I send an email, this will automatically be included at the bottom. And so again, anytime you post around the site, if you email somebody, they'll have a link to something that you want them to read. It's one of the most basic ways that you can promote your items on writing.com. So let's go back to the account settings for a minute here. And there are a few other things that may be useful for you. Manage newsletter subscriptions. This is where you can change the newsletters that you signed up for when you join the site. Say I just want to receive the poetry newsletter, submit changes, and now whenever the newsletters come out, I will only get the poetry one in my email. Note also that you don't have to subscribe to any of them, and you can read all of the newsletters. Just go to Writing Resources, Newsletters, and you can read any of the newsletters, whether you're subscribed to them or not. You just go to the newsletter archives, and you can look through the most recent week's newsletters, or you can look through by genre. So, say I just feel like reading some mystery newsletters. They're all right here for me. See, here are the most recent ones. And so you don't have to change your subscriptions to read them, is what I'm saying. But that's where you do that if you do want to change, if it's convenient for you to have them in your email. And I do recommend pausing the video and kind of exploring, the site display options and other options. Both of those have a lot of helpful things in them. But I'm going to finish up this tutorial with talking about how to block content that you don't want to see. So there's the content rating blocker, and there's block and ignore members. And we'll look at both of these. Okay, so block items by their content rating. This is really helpful if you don't want to see anything graphic. There is horror and erotica and a lot of genres and a lot of types of writing on WDC, and you don't have to see any of it that you don't want to see. This will block these items from coming up in your search results and things of that nature. It's really helpful too if you have children or young teens using the site and don't want them to see anything above 13 plus. So you're welcome to change this to anything. Personally, I don't block anything. I'm a grown up. I can do that. And you can choose a numeric passcode. So this is a very good option if you're specific about what you do and don't want to see as far as the ratings go, which is why I stressed so hard reading what is contained in each of these ratings and choosing the appropriate one when creating your items. I mentioned that in the last video. It's really important for this reason. It lets people know what the rating is for your items so that they don't have to read anything that is more extreme than they're willing to read. So that is the item content. Let's go back to account settings. And you can also block and ignore members on writing.com. This is helpful if I know that a lot of people block members if they receive reviews that they found to be rude or anything like that. You just type the username in here. And again, keep in mind the difference between the username and handle. The handle is this abbreviated name. it's the name that you can choose, and you can change as much as you want. You can never change. You don't change Cinnamon Fringe. You don't change WDC tutorial. Like, these are the usernames. It's much more difficult to change those. And so that's what you put in the box if you want to block or ignore a member. And you can read the differences between the two, between block and ignore. If you want nothing to do with somebody, you can go ahead and throw their name in both places and be sure to submit changes, and that will take care of it. Now, there's one last bit that I want to go through here. The news feed also has ratings. It's set to default pretty high. A lot of people go for E for everyone, but there really isn't, there aren't many people who post in their notebook at the level of E for everyone. So I recommend 18 plus at least, or just no filter. Personally, I always go with no filter, but again, that's a matter of your preference. But yeah, if you go down all the way down to E for everyone, you probably won't see very much. So 18 plus is a good bet if you really want to see a lot in here. It's kind of odd that I have anything in my personal news feed since I don't have anybody in here. Yeah, this is my personal news feed. Well, that's weird. Okay, anyway, so yeah, this is where you change the content rating of what you want to see in your news feed. And if a post gets through that you don't like, you can hide the note, or you can hide this member. So they won't appear in your news feed, even if they're in your favorite or fan list. So that is how to prevent yourself from seeing anything on the site that you don't want to see. Some things may slip through, but it's still a pretty good system, and it's definitely better than just having no precautions in place at all. Again, the block and ignore member, that works very well. And the content ratings are all based on the users. So, rate responsibly. Do your part. Okay, so with that, this tutorial is complete, and we will be on to the next tutorial, which is communication. See you then.